This is Intro to Groups for Schoology, and I'm starting off on my dashboard, my home dashboard, and I'm just going to click Groups up here, and it's going to take me here, and you'll see these are tiles of some of the groups that I'm a member of, and you will see some of the groups that you are a member of as well when you get there. To see all of my groups, I can just click on the My Groups link right here, and that'll give me a list of all of my groups. And as you can see, it's a lot more than was on that tiled dashboard there. I've even got a second page worth. And just as we had with courses, some of the groups have badges next to them. That just indicates that it's a group that I either created and or am an administrator of. Now, groups are great for collaborating. Unlike courses, which is all about the academic side, groups are for collaboration, and you can collaborate with colleagues, peers. You can use them for PLCs, committees. If you're a sponsor or a coach, you can use it for a team or a club. So you can set up groups for pretty much any collaboration group that you want. To create a group from this page, you would click on the Create Group button. Give it a name, which is required, and then it's optional whether or not you want to put in a description. You can change the privacy settings. It defaults to school, meaning that it's accessible only to people that are in Virginia Beach Middle School. You can set it to group, so only people who are members of the group can actually access it. And if that's the case, then you will have to send them an invitation. You can make it so it's no one. It's just a group that for right now you're working on the group, setting it up, and you don't want anyone else to see it yet. Or you can do a custom privacy setting as well. As far as access goes, it could be invite only. You could allow requests so people could see it out there and they could request to join, or you can leave it open so anyone can join at any time. Speaking of joining groups, the Join Group button is right here, and all you'd have to do is put in the access code to join a group. Please keep in mind that groups and courses are separate and they are different. So if you're trying to use a course access code and you put it in the Join Group box, it is not going to work. It's going to say that it failed. And vice versa. If you try to use a group code in a course access box, it will not work. So make sure that you are using the correct code in the correct box when trying to join. Students can join groups, but they cannot create groups. They can only join them. People can post comments and share links and resources and even add to calendars. So for instance, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to jump into the Schoology Educators group. And this is a public group. Now, I am not an administrator here, but I just want to give you an idea of what a group page can look like. And here people are just putting out information, maybe asking questions to get some feedback on, sharing information. But you also have a discussions tab. You can click on that, and on the discussions page it will have a list of all the discussions that have been taking place on this and throughout this group, and any discussion that you see that you may want to join in, or to add some information, maybe see if someone's answered some questions. Grading in Schoology, you would click on it. You could check out the discussion, see what's going on in there. There's also the resources button. You could click on resources, and this is great because it has just a long list of free resources that are just out there for the taking. You just look, if there's anything on here that you think would work great for your class, you just come over and take a look at it. You can open it up, look at it, take a peek, make sure it works for you. Let's say that, and some of these aren't labeled the best because, iPad game section 1 of what, we're not sure, so you really have to go in and take a look. But let's say the Math Review Bank is something that you looked at, you like it. You can come over here to the gear and click on it, and you can copy it to your resources. You can enable question tracking. when you copy it to your resources, you will then be able, and I'll click on the copy and let it pop up here. When you do that, see, I can come up here and I can move it to another group here, to the resources of another group. Whoops. Or I can also use all school resources over here if I want to. And once I've moved it over to my group resources, then I can move it over to a course or use it in another spot. Sometimes you have the option, let me come up here and take a look at like the American Revolution. This one I can add directly to a course. Whoever shares it, when you share it, the resources, you get to set up what the options are for people to use. This one I could copy just like I did before to another group, or I can just add it straight to one of my courses if I want to. So that's some cool stuff there, and it's definitely worth a look to check out resources on different pages. Speaking of which, I'm going to come back out here. I'm going to click on groups and come to my groups. And you'll see that I have different tabs up here. If I go to school groups, these are going to be groups that are associated with my school, Virginia Beach Middle School. And so I can look to join these if I wanted to, if I'm not already a member, or I could go in there. I can also select another school if I want to collaborate with somebody from another building. It doesn't have to just be Virginia Beach Middle School. So I could look at their groups as well. And again, if it's not a public group, then I would just ask if I could join, and the administrator would have the right to either accept or deny my request to join. Public groups, there's a lot of public groups out there. If you click on that tab, you can look at different groups that are available. The green check mark signifies that I'm already a member of that group. But let's say one-to-one computing. I could just come down here, I could click on this, and this one is an open one, so it would allow me to join a group there just straight away. Depending on the group, it may ask or have the request to join group if that's what they have set it up for. So you have the ability to just check out all sorts of public groups and get more information and collaborate with more people out there as well. And another thing that I do want to mention about groups, and let's go back into, let's go into our school groups real quick. And I'm just going to come back to MVB All Staff, or our group here that everyone should be a member of. You'll notice nobody has posted anything yet, but here I could, post. Anyone could come in here who's a member, and they could post a question, a comment. You can add resources, links, and of course files. You can add to our group resources page. You could add to albums with photos and videos. And you can also communicate directly with just one group member if you want. You can click on the members button over here on the side, and you'll see these are a list of all the members. Again, anyone who has a shield by their name is an administrator. And you can come over and you could choose if you want to send a message to one in particular member, if you want to send one to everyone. That is up to you, but I could come in here and I could click here, and it would allow me to send a message or to contact them through like an IM message. This message would be an email. This would be kind of like an IM messaging system through Schoology. So I could contact them, or I could send out an email to the entire group if I wanted to, just to help with communication. If I go back to where I was previously, actually I'm just going to go back to the main page. You can see I can add an event to our calendar, to our group calendar, so that people can see what's coming up and help everybody stay on the same page. So it's a very useful tool that you can use with students, with colleagues, and it's something that you should definitely play around with. So I encourage you to go on, dive in, and try working with groups.